Australia exports more liquefied natural gas than almost any other nation. Yet, the average household pays a premium to keep the lights on, and data center operators face volatile power pricing. This contradiction defines the modern energy economy. We assume that resource wealth will translate directly into resource affordability. Market data proves the opposite. Now, you probably are wondering why abundance doesn't lower costs. But actually, three structural forces sustain this tension. Force 1, the export linkage trap. Domestic power prices track international LNG benchmarks rather than local extraction costs. The recent gas reservation scheme acknowledges this reality, but it preserves existing formats that were signed before December 2025. These grandfathered agreements represent roughly 65% of current supply. Energy markets do not reset overnight. Force 2, the infrastructure multiplier. Generation represents only one component of final energy costs. Network transmission, distribution maintenance, and grid stabilization services determine what consumers actually pay. System planners project $128 billion in capital deployment through 2050. Geographic dispersion multiplies per customer network costs. Building extensive transmission networks across varied terrain costs substantially more than upgrading concentrated urban grids. Force 3, the governance lag. Analyzed through PESTLE. Policy interventions often address price symptoms rather than structural causes. Implementation uncertainty shifts from questions of intent to questions of execution. Now, factors include policy coordination gaps, economic loopholes, social perception risks, technology acceleration, legal uncertainty, and environmental tensions. Regulatory design determines cost allocation. Weak pricing controls on related party transfers allow compliance on paper while limiting actual market convergence. These three forces interact to sustain the cost pressure cycle. Together, they form a repeatable diagnostic model. The export linkage ties domestic wholesale rates to global benchmarks. The infrastructure multiplier passes grid modernization costs to consumer tariffs. The governance lag delays market convergence while maintaining compliance overhead. Professionals can apply this framework to separate temporary price interventions from structural cost drivers. Australia's energy paradox persists because structural market linkages, geographic constraints, and regulatory timing operate on different horizons. Policy announcements create temporary relief, while underlying cost drivers remain intact. These challenges are complex, yet they are not insolvable. Resolving this equation requires transparent pricing architecture, targeted infrastructure investment, and synchronized federal-state execution. If you like this sort of framework analysis, subscribe to APAC 2100.